Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to go over the large miners. So anybody that's over going to be future hash rate is going to be over 10 exahash. We'll go over their basically how they did in April, and we'll compare them all to each other, see what's going on with them, where they are priced at, where I think they should be at, and then we'll take a look at obviously their production for April and compare them all together. So this is going to be a pretty quick video, I would think. And as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill. I'm invested in the following coins and companies. And let's get into the data here and we'll go through it all and then we'll explain some stuff as well. So here we go. So here's the data that we're looking at. We obviously have Sphere 3D, which got entered into it just recently. Marathon, Core Scientific, Iris, and Riot. Sphere 3D is questionable because they are reporting that they're purchasing those new miners, NM440s. Those have not been yet sent for testing to them, which they were supposed to be sent, I think, by May. So we don't know if new miners are going to be actually sending those, but they do have an order with them for 60,000 of those, which would get them to, what was it, right around 32 exahash with the other ant miners that they have on order so far. But if that doesn't happen, that would make them below 10 exahash, so they would be in the medium miner category, right? So for temporary reasons, they're in here for now, but we'll see if that sale actually goes through. All right, so Sphere 3D has a market cap of 63 million right now, and stock price is at 99 cents. Then we got Marathon is at 977. Market cap is at 1 billion. Core Scientific is at $3.72, and they are at 1.2 billion. I'm only calculating for Core their own mining here, and not the hosting part of it, because the hosting part is just the margins are so small on it anyways. It's marginal as far as I'm concerned with that. Iris is at 625, market cap of 343 million. Riot is at 684 and market cap of 868 million. Obviously, all of these companies are way undervalued in my opinion. Here we have the estimated revenue for the last 3 quarters, which are obviously reported, and the current. Sphere 3D is a little bit off on this because I only have 2 of the last quarter data on it. So that's going to be a little bit off on it. Marathon is at about 197 million in revenue. Core Scientific at 367 million. Iris at 57 million. And Riot is at 194 million. So using those calculations with a 75% net income from gross revenue and a price to earnings multiple of 20. Let me see if I have that. I don't think I have these set at 20 right now. Let's see your Sphere 3D. Where is that data coming from? That is coming from here. And okay, so Sphere 3D is at 20. Let's take a look at Marathon. I think I changed some of these around to be 11. So did a mistake there. Let's try this again. So that's correct, but we got to go back into it for Marathon. Marathon should be, if we're using the 20 price earnings multiple to make it all fair on everybody. This is where we are at. We got Marathon. Iris is in there. Iris should be at 20, so we'll have it all even. And we got Riot. Riot is at 25 right now, so that should be lower. And then let's see, who else do we have here? Cost, minor comparison. Core Scientific is the other one. Core Scientific is at 20 already, so that's good. All right. So we have all those guys set at everything together. So right now, 75% P of 20. On Sphere 3D, we're looking at basically 16 cents right now. I think they are overvalued from what they are actually mining. And we'll look at the numbers here in a little bit to kind of explain it. Marathon should be at, in my opinion, around 27.92 if we're using the 20 price earnings multiple. Right now, we are in a somewhat of a bear market with Bitcoin, so we're obviously way below that. But I think once Bitcoin starts running up, this is where they probably should be because of their growth. Core Scientific would be at $16.96. Iris would be at $15.70 and Riot at $23.01. So that right now means that Marathon is undervalued by about $18, Core Scientific by about 13, Iris by 9, Riot by 16. That is a difference of 186 for Marathon, Core 356, Iris 151%, and Riot 236%. Current hash rate for Marathon is about 3.8 exahash. Core is at 8.9 exahash. Iris is at 1 exahash, and Riot is at 4.7. future hash rate for Marathon is going to be 23 exahash roughly. Core Scientific at 17, Iris at 15, Riot at 12. Obviously, Riot is going to be a little bit higher than that because they are doing their immersion cooling for some of their miners, which is obviously going to increase their hash rate by about, maybe we're guessing between 20 and 30% on those. And excuse me while I sip here on my coffee a little bit. My throat gets really dry. I'm dealing with a sinus. And it's obviously impacting my voice here a little bit. So I do apologize in advance for that. So currently operationally installed from their future hash rate, Sphere is at 0.31%. That's if they get the new miners, which is questionable, really, really questionable right now. Marathon is only 16.62. Core is at 51%. Iris is at 6.9%. And Riot is about 36% right now, right? It's still early on in the year. We may find out that some of these miners are going to be providing more updates as far as buying more miners. So things will change, obviously, if that does happen. And number of miners installed right now, obviously, like I said, Sphere has only 1,000 miners. They are at 100 petahash right now. They are really low. So, like I said, they may be booted out of here and going into the medium category. Marathon has about 36,830. Core about 89,815, which is a lot. Iris 10,591, and Riot is at 47,000. On that average hash rate for these guys, Marathon is at 105 terahash. Core is at 99. Iris is about 98, and Riot is about 99. So they're all pretty well and efficient miners. These are more of the newer miners, basically, than miners S19s. About 100 terahash miners or so. They do have some older equipment in there as well. That's why it's dragging it down. But going forward, that should improve, especially since some of these guys have reported of buying the 140 terahash miners as well. So if we're looking at the market cap per petahash right now, Sphere is at 638,000, obviously, right? Market cap is way off balance, I think. That's why I think they are way overvalued right now. Marathon is at 267,000. Core is at 136. I think Core should be up closer to where these guys are. Iris is a little high as well, 331, and Riot is at 184. I think the average should be around 250 or so. So these guys, Iris is a little bit high, and I think investors are giving them obviously more upside, I think, because they're only 6.9% installed right now to their future hash rate of 15. So I think they're seeing it more of a growth story than perhaps like Riot or Core or Marathon, right? You're seeing that the ones that have more room to run still are getting better market cap per petahash, basically. And then if we take the market cap per petahash times future hash rate, we would have a Sphere 3D with, if they ever get to that 32 exahash, they would be at about $20.6 billion in market cap. Marathon would be about 6.2 billion. Core right now would be at 2.3. If we're using just the current market cap per petahash calculation, Iris at 4.9, Riot at 2.3 billion, and then future share price would be, obviously this is outstanding, a little way overboard here for Sphere 3D, 321.59 for Marathon. Core would be $7, Iris at 90, and Riot at 19. So upside potential for the numbers, if we're using the current market cap per petahash times the future hash rate, would be 502% for Marathon. Core would be at 93%. Iris would be at 1,347, and Riot would be 172. And then my estimates, based on the 20 price range multiple of 75%, we're looking at $167 for Marathon, possibly $32 for Core. Iris would be $227, and Riot would be at $62, which would represent an increase of $1,619 for Marathon, $782 for Core, $3,533 for Iris, and 814% for Riot, with market caps here at $17 billion for Marathon. Core Scientific would be at 10 billion, Iris at 12, and Riot at 7, and that is based on obviously their future hash rate. We know Marathon is going to be at approximately 23, which is obviously getting the higher market cap here. Core for their self-mining would be at 17 roughly. So they're a little bit lower at 10, and this is based on where things are at right now. Iris is going to be at 15, so we're looking at possibly 12. And Riot at 12.7 would be about 8 or so. Obviously being the lowest on the board here, they would be ones on the lower. But obviously Riot has the emergent cooling, which I think is going to boost them up a little bit here going forward once we get some data on that. Okay. Let's take a look at some other data here that we have. And then we got BTC HODL. So right now Marathon has about 9,673. Core has 9,618. So I think Core is probably going to overtake Marathon as far as BTC HODL going at the end of May. Riot has also a nice increase here of 6,320. So they all have quite a lot of, obviously, BTC value. With the current numbers, we're looking at about 285 million for Marathon. Core has 283, and Riot 183 and 186. And they're all pretty close to each other as far as HODL to market cap value. So 27% of Marathon's HODL is their market cap. Core Scientific is 23%, and Riot is 21% right now. And then looking at their monthly miner stats, Iris, we'll just go down the list here. Iris mined 137, Riot mined 508, Core Scientific mined 1,121. That's why I'm saying that they will probably beat Marathon at the end of May. Marathon will only had 299, and they had a problem with their power plant at Hardin, I think, in April, which obviously resulted in them mining less, and they've had issues with it before, and they're saying that they're going to get off of that facility and move those miners by the end of, I think, Q3 or Q4 of this year. So obviously, Iris increased their Bitcoin mining by 16 Bitcoins that month. Riot actually was lower by 3. Core Scientific was lower by 22 as well. And Marathon was way down at 137 less. So that is obviously not good. Hash rate wise, obviously currently Iris is at about 1 exahash. Riot is at 4.7, Core is at 8.9, and Marathon is at 3.8, almost 3.9. And then if we're looking at the BTC per petahash, we can see that Iris here did the best job of 0.132 out of them, followed by Core Scientific was at 1.26, then Riot was at 1.08, and Marathon was at 0.077. So a lot of data as always, but does lead me to believe that most of these guys are way undervalued right now. Obviously, where Bitcoin is, it's only natural. Have we reached the bottom? I don't know yet. We may still go down a little bit more. People are saying Bitcoin could go down some more, which would result, obviously, in these guys possibly going down another 30, 40% from where they are right now. But we'll have to see. So, like I said, not financial advice, dollar cost average if you can, buy the dips. I know it's tough to continue buying the dips when they keep on coming, but we just don't know when the bottom is going to be. But I think the upside potential is huge, especially once Bitcoin turns around. We do have still about 2 years before the next halving event. I think we may be in like a rotten market here for the next 6 to 12 months, usually about a year before the halving, before the halving event, things usually start picking back up. So it'll be interesting if history repeats itself on that, or if we're actually going to start going up prior to that. We do have a lot more people getting into Bitcoin, institutions, adoptions happening all over the world. We got countries just looking to basically have it as legal tender. So we'll see. Obviously, right now it's just a bad time in the market. If you can hold on, I think in the next 12 to 18 months, things will start looking really good. And I think these guys will start going to where I think they should be more valued at. Some of these are also, market cap wise, are less than what they actually have as far as assets are concerned, which is just crazy. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, spreadsheets available to Patreon members, and thank you to my patrons for their support. If you guys enjoyed it, obviously hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously, and hit the notification bell. That way you get notified when I do post a video. Next couple of videos are going to be on the medium miners and then small miners. We'll do that, and then we'll also take a look at some other possible videos to do. It's raining outside. I got nothing better to do, so I'm going to do a couple of videos, get it knocked out. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.